The Pittsburgh Steelers had one of the most incredible 2024 NFL draft classes I have seen in a very long time. And in this video, what I wanted to do specifically was actually grade every single draft pick in reverse order to show you exactly what they got, what the potential looks like, and why I think this will go down as one of the best draft classes the Steelers might ever have. Before we dive into the video, comment down below some letter grades of these draft picks yourself and let me know what you think maybe I got wrong. And with that being said, let's dive right into the video. We got a lot to talk about. Now, I wanted to give a big time honorable mention to an undrafted free agent that obviously wasn't drafted, but I want to give him a grade anyway. Beanie Bishop was a UDFA and was absolutely unbelievable in his rookie season. Now, obviously still has a lot to build upon, but over 549 snaps as a UDFA is unbelievable. Look at this play as he reads the quarterback's eyes, turns his back away from the middle of the field, and then ends up turning around and snagging an unbelievable interception off Aaron Rodgers. This is unreal body control and a great interception there by Beanie Bishop. I'm going to give him a B+ grade, but obviously has a lot of room to grow. Let's now get into the NFL draft. Now, with the Steelers' very last pick of the draft, coming in the 6th round, 195 overall, they selected cornerback or safety Ryan Watts out of Texas. Now, he was a very interesting prospect coming out of the draft, had some really good size at the DB position, allowed only 1 touchdown in 267 coverage snaps in college, and brings a ton of physicality to this Steelers defense. However, he actually came down with a neck injury and missed the entirety of the NFL season. And with that being said alone, I'm going to give this an incomplete grade. Overall, I love the potential, the physicality, the size of Ryan Watts, and also his run defense grade. He's not afraid to lower the shoulder and make a tackle as well. I think with time, if he's able to get healthy, he could be a really good addition, but for now, we're going to leave it incomplete. Now, next up was no other than another 6th round draft pick, Logan Lee, a defensive lineman out of Iowa. Another very intriguing prospect. Just added to that interior group that ranked 11th last year against the run. And this dude ranked 5th among all Big Ten defensive tackles in run defense grade and 4th in quarterback pressures while he was in college. Now, unfortunately, Logan Lee did not play pretty much at all this season as the Steelers placed him on the IR. The injury wasn't serious, but it was more like a redshirt type of season for Logan Lee, and therefore, once again, we're going to give him an incomplete grade. I do, again, like the potential overall of Logan Lee on the interior of this defense, especially with the age of some guys getting up there. Now, this is where things start to get a little bit interesting. They had a very good offensive line draft here. In the 4th round, they took Mason McCormick, a guard out of South Dakota State. Now, the Steelers built this offensive line, grabbing 3 offensive linemen, but this one on day 3, McCormick earned a 90.3 PFF grade, the best among all FBS guards in the draft, and they got him on or in the 4th round, which is incredible. Now, McCormick actually did play a good amount of football this year, showed a lot of versatility, playing 82 snaps at left guard and over 841 snaps at the right guard position, getting an overall grade of 87th among 135 guards in the NFL, but really stood out when it came to his pass blocking mechanics. Now, due to Mason McCormick's versatility overall, I'm going to give him a C+ grade. I loved what he did when it came to pass blocking, but one area of his game where he needs to be a little bit better for next season is definitely run blocking. He got graded out as a 53.7, which ranked about 109th among 135 guards in football this year. But overall, the versatility of playing left guard and right guard, only allowing 2 sacks in over 930 snaps is really, really good. I love what he can do. I love the potential. And if this guy grows even a little bit, I think he's going to be a stud alongside this offensive line. All right, now I'm getting excited. Peyton Wilson is who they drafted in the 3rd round, 97th pick overall, and was probably one of the biggest steals of this year's NFL draft. Man, out of NC State, this dude was a heat-seeking missile, made plays not only in coverage, but stopping the run, and could also get to the quarterback as well. In a second, we're going to break down some of his film, but I'm just going to go out and say, instead of denying, or delaying, I should say, the inevitable, this dude deserves an A+ grade. Now, get this. Peyton Wilson actually ranked within the top 10 of all linebackers when it came to pass coverage grade. He also ranked within the top 100 of his run defense grade and the top 45 of his pass rush grade, with an overall grade of 75.3, which ranked about top 26 among 189 linebackers in the NFL this year. Take a look at this play, as we're going to get a one high safety look to the left side of your screen. We're going to motion in Justice Hill. You see Peyton Wilson following, which means we have man-to-man coverage all the way down across the board, right? And whenever they see this matchup alone, Justice Hill versus a rookie linebacker, this turns into what you call a yes-no read for the quarterback, and he says, okay, I'm going to throw this ball no matter what. If we're able to get this safety trending in an opposite direction, we're going to throw this ball, and all we're going to run is a wheel route. So as this play starts to develop, we're going to get an inside, kind of like a shallow cross pick, trying to get in front of Peyton Wilson, allowing this to break open pretty much right away. Now watch Peyton Wilson. He's going to avoid, and then he's going to turn back up the field, get back into this play after initially getting beat. He's going to extend that right arm into the window, into the catch radius of Justice Hill, and somehow, some way, come away with an interception right here. Peyton Wilson is an absolute animal, which is why he deserves an A+ grade this season. Played over 493 total snaps. 310 of those were in pass coverage. And again, to play that many snaps and to be a top 10 linebacker in the NFL in terms of coverage grade, the potential is off the charts. Had 54 tackles, had 1 forced fumble, had an interception, had 24 run stops, and allowed a passer rating of 80. This dude is an animal, and I cannot wait to see what he does next. Now, real quickly, guys, before we dive back into the video and break down even more of these rookies for the Steelers, do me a favor, hit the like button if you like this content, and if you want more, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will be breaking down the Pittsburgh Steelers throughout the entirety of the offseason, which means free agent signings, we got you with film analysis. Anyone they draft, film analysis. Whoever they trade for, film analysis. Guys, join the family. Let's dive back into some more rookies. Now, in the 3rd round of the NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers decided to take a wide receiver. Now, after losing Deontay Johnson in the offseason, trading him for a DB in Dante Jackson, they drafted Roman Wilson, a wide receiver out of Michigan who has very sure hands and easily is one of the most reliable catchers in that draft, right? Had 67 targets with only 1 drop and ranked in the 90th percentile when it came to separation percentage. Now, obviously this season didn't go as planned, as he was injured relatively early and did not get too much playing time, but that is okay, because at the end of the day, I think Roman Wilson still has a ton of potential to develop into a really good route runner in the NFL, and that ability to create separation, with also the fact that he's got very short hands, is very promising. However, without playing too much, I'm going to give him an incomplete grade. But man, although there's 3 incompletes, right, there's a lot of potential even with these guys alone. Now, in the 2nd round, this is where things start to really get exciting again. They drafted center Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. Now, Frazier was a 4-time high school wrestling champion, and that led to some really good handwork, really good body control, and ended up being one of the best centers in college football. In 2001, he had a grade of 84.6 according to PFF and never went below that, ranking third among all FBS centers in college football, and owns just a 2.27 pressure percentage allowed over that span as well. Zach Frazier came into the season as someone that they expected to have a ton of potential, and that is exactly what happened. He played over 975 snaps this season, and all of those came at the starting center position. He had an overall grade of 76.8, which, guys, ranked 6th best among all centers that played in the NFL this year. Had one of the best run blockers in the NFL, ranking 6th among all centers, and also had a 66.6 pass blocking grade, which ranked among the top 20 of all centers in the NFL. Clearly, this will go down as one of the best draft picks of the second round. A+ grade, in my opinion. Zach Frazier is an absolute animal. Now, with their first overall selection in the first round, they drafted Troy Fautanu out of Washington at the right tackle position. He was scheduled to come in and be a day one starter for them at either left tackle or right tackle. They ultimately ended up playing him at the right tackle position, where he actually ranked 15th on PFF's final big board and 5th among all tackles in pass blocking grade with an 88.2. Now, Fautanu came in here, played relatively early, but did suffer an injury early on in the season, which ultimately ended his season. But with him playing roughly about 55 snaps, we got a pretty good look at who he could be down the line, but obviously we want to see a lot more. Now, instead of giving this an incomplete grade, I'm going to go off of those snaps we did see, and to be honest, I was quite surprised with how good his pass blocking translated to the NFL. I'm going to give him a solid B-, just because you need to be able to pass block, especially if you're playing either left or right tackle. Now, I will say the one thing I'm a little bit nervous about is that run blocking. Can he have that power, that lower body strength to get guys out of the play? In the NFL, that is something that still needs to be seen. He ranked 81st among 141 tackles in run blocking grade, and about 54th in terms of pass blocking grade. Honestly, I'm excited about Troy Fautanu, and I think he's going to be a really good player alongside players like Mason McCormick and Zach Frazier, who got a lot of playing time this season. I'm excited to see what they do going forward, and honestly, I think this draft class was extremely good here by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not only do you come away with a guy like Zach Frazier, who is going to be a day one starter for you for a very long time, but now you also bring in a guy like Mason McCormick, who can play either guard spot, Fautanu, who can play either tackle spot, adding a ton of versatility. You get an A+ with Peyton Wilson, one of the best linebackers in this rookie class, who I'm very excited about. And then you get some potential with Roman Wilson, who didn't play too much this year, but we all know what he can do as a receiver with short hands and a great separation ability. And then you got Logan Lee, who's some really good depth at defensive tackle. And then Ryan Watts has got great physicality and great size as a DB. Great tackling ability, does not care who it is. He'll come down and make a big time play. I'm excited, man. I really am. Let me know in the comments down below what you'd give these grades. Where did I go wrong? Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, and I'll see you in the next Steelers video. Peace.